And with every little resource regulation, positive thought, self-acknowledgement, moment of rest, moment of something new pathway, something unfamiliar, it's literally like putting a drop in a big vase. Looks like nothing in the beginning. You just keep putting those little droplets in, and eventually over time you'd see that vase fill up with water. And that's exactly what the journey we're on is like. When we think of presence, sometimes we have this really damaging misconception that presence means to just have nothing in your mind and to just be in this sort of crystal clarity space. And you can definitely get there. Like I've had moments where I've completely disappeared and gone into utter silence. For the most part, it's kind of not really what happens especially when there's dysregulation and a lot going on. And so presence isn't like everything's here and you're looking away. It's like, oh, there's self-criticism. Hello. It's like clouds, like literally. And then, oh, am I getting it right? Am I doing this? We all have that. That comes up across the board. Am I doing this right? What if I'm doing it wrong? Panic, panic. I must be fucking this up somehow. Oh, okay. Hello. Hello, part of me that feels like I'm getting it wrong. I'm the one. Everyone else, blah, blah, blah. You say, hello, you're here too. And then that passes. Oh, there's grief. Hello, grief. Oh, there's joy. Hello, joy. And we can start saying hello to the resourced parts. So the fact that you are acknowledging, oh, it did eventually ease, and you started to notice it. That's the magic. That's everything. And when we celebrate that, we go, yay, look how I did that. Cool, I did that. I'm taking ownership for the fact that I did that. That's when confidence goes up, self-esteem, self-assurance, groundedness, resilience. So just in that tiny thing, there's so many gems in there. And resource is kind of the same as how we use resource, just in a different context. We think, okay, we're going to a school, what resources do we have available to us here to use? If we go into a new space, what have we got? It's kind of the same, like what have we got? Is it a sensation, a feeling, a thought, a colour, an image, a self-celebration? It's literally like a resource. It's almost like you feel the pain of having missed it. The presence of it reminds you of how much you've longed for it. So it's almost like this very dual experience of being given something or thinking of something, and then it's like, oh, needed it so much. The father that comes and finally wraps his arms around us and says, you're wonderful, I love you, or the mother that stops being a narcissist and says, darling, I'm sorry. You know, it's like, I know we want that. The child can't have that. Those times have gone. It's done. It is what it is. And so now we can find it in a new way, an empowered way, and love that child back to wholeness. The core wounded belief. What is that core need or cry of that young one? And you can almost get it like down to a T. Like mine was, I'm lost, I'm alone, and I don't know what to do. To the point where sometimes all you need to do is to think that thought, and you're in dysregulation and panic. It can even go as far as being in a CPTSD trigger. Like that thought would fuel a panic attack, like hours of a panic just from that thought, because that is the core wounded belief. That was the core pain. And then life kept reinstating that, and then I kept reinstating that. And then you see it, the mind is programmed to pull in data to support whatever the belief is. So if the belief that is there that hasn't been healed or loved back into healing is alive within the body, then we will see the absence if that is, there is no support, I'm alone, we will see that we're alone. What if no one's judging me? What if I'm actually pretty cool? How might you speak? How might you share? How might you put something out into the world? And so it's very, very soft, like super soft, so powerful. Also because it's so soft, you're not trying to force yourself to be different. You're not forcing yourself to heal or move faster than you're ready. But it's just like, let me play. We forget how to play. But when we explore, we're inviting the new and the unfamiliar. And when the known and the familiar is painful, we need the unfamiliar for it not to be painful. So playfulness and experimentation. Like when you can't sleep, what if I knew how to feel really restful right now? What if I could sleep? If I was really tired and I could sleep really well right now, how would that be? Oh, I notice the pillow more. Oh my God, I'm really appreciative that I have duvets and I'm warm. Oh my God, I get to be cozy in my bed with a roof over my head. Oh my God, this is amazing. I have nothing to do right now. I'm in bed and I'm safe. Compared to, I can't sleep. Oh my God. So of course I can't sleep. Of course I feel scared if those patterns are running with force. So that's just a really light little nugget.
Part of the reparenting is so often we're emulating what we were shown or what we found was like the best coping strategy. So if we think of the inner critic as a child or a teenager, and it comes in the room, and then we try and push it away, push it back out the door, tell it to leave, I don't want you here, and then we're fighting. It's wanting something, like the part of you that wants to be able to be super eloquent and say everything perfectly, anytime, anywhere, and always deliver amazing results, never let anyone down. It's like the way that sometimes our psyche tries to get us to this ideal perfect is to like criticize us for not being that, because actually that inner critic has been made to believe that if you were that, then you'd be lovable, then I'll receive the love that I didn't get. So it's kind of trying to get us to be this more, it's trying to get us to love. It's just very misguided in how it's doing it because it doesn't know any better. So then part of the healing process is to show up as a being that is bigger than that, that has more spaciousness and awareness and resource to be able to say, hey, you're a lot right now. Can we rest? Or what do you need? Like, you're being really loud. Like, what are you needing with me? What do you need to know? What's behind you running the show right now? And it will usually come down to something deeper, which is, I just want to feel loved. Or I just don't think I'm enough. And it's like, okay, I'm going to be here with that. It's okay you feel that way. Because we sort of start to emulate this internal, like, guardianship for all the parts of us. And then that's where we kind of refragment the spirit and pull all of those little broken pieces back together to kind of create that stained glass finger. I really love that analogy, like a beautiful mirage. It's not called a mirage, a collage of glass to make something beautiful. It's like a reintegration of the self. So what most panic and anxiety is coming because we're fighting a part of us that's fighting. And so we're just battling because there hasn't been anywhere else to go. And then when we go into the body and then the body's together, then there really is nowhere to go. There's just no resource. So in you starting to have this experience of like, oh, my body's actually quite a safe resource place, or there's all of this really beautiful nourishment and soothing warmth that's here. You're starting to like kind of understand what home is. So you always have this. And then your nervous system familiarizes itself. And then you're like, oh, this is my home base now. And then maybe something really bad happens and you have a bit of a spiral, or you have a paddy, or you have a shit day, because life is still life. But there's just a lot more of you and your resource and inner safety online. So the intensity of and the mess just naturally starts to ease. And the chaos decreases because you've got a safe home base to come from. And that also means having the courage to love the parts that you've hated. You've wanted that inner critic to leave because it's brought you so much pain. But actually, the way that it leaves is to like sit with it on the sofa, put your arm around it, and say, "Hey, dude, like, I know you're trying so hard, but I've got you. You don't need to be doing it all by yourself, because now there's someone here for you." And eventually, the tools become less important. The inner child, like now, I don't identify in my own process with reparenting because I've used the tool and now I don't need it anymore. Now it's more just like a noticing of, oh gosh, there's a sensation here. But then maybe something, happens that really hits that real wound, and then that tool becomes available again. So even if you feel really dysregulated in a moment, just say, well, what if there's some way that I can bring a soothingness to what's happening? And sometimes it's having the courage to just be with the sensation of discomfort, know that you're safe, and that even if it hurts, it probably just wants to move through you. And no matter how intense it feels, nothing actually bad can happen from a sensation. Like even a panic attack, we can't die from a panic attack. It's just that we feel like everything's going awful, and then we panic even more. We can't actually die from a panic attack. So it's like all of that alarm systems is, oh my God, I'm so dysregulated, shit. And it's like, no, like what's my body saying? What's behind this? And sometimes it's really painful. But then the more that you can be with that, or even just hang out with the pain and say like, okay, this is really intense, but I'm noticing you. Then you're teaching your body that no matter what emerges in your body, you're safe. And that's the opposite feeling under threat with what emerges in your mind and body. It's really this resurgence, and slowly your nervous system is going to get used to this. It's going to feel like a bit of a paradigm shift, and your nervous system is going to start like, oh, okay, this is how you walk, this is how you strike, and until you forget that the change ever happened.